Welcome back, everybody. I am Justin Massengill, and I get to talk about Persona 5 tonight. I'm very excited. I'm here with Mai Namba, who is the main translator on Persona 5.
Hello.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, first of all, let me comment on your hat.
Oh.
Your hat is very cute. It's Morgana, right?
Yes, it's Morgana.
Am I saying that right?
Yes, that's correct.
That is the new mascot character for Persona 5. That hat is amazing. Can I get one? Maybe? Okay.
Well, we are having the event over at our booth, and people who are attending E3, there are a couple of opportunities to get the hat, so if you are here, definitely worth the wait.
I think if you happen to be at the show and watching this broadcast for some reason, then stop by the Atlas booth and get yourself a Morgana hat. We are rolling the trailer for Persona 5 right now, so we can cut over to that and we can talk a little bit about that. This is a very stylish game. Obviously, it's a Persona game.
Very.
Tell me a little bit about the style of Persona 5 and how you think it's a departure from Persona 4, which is the last big mainline Persona game.
Well, to be honest, the past Persona series, they were much more lighthearted, a little bit more focused on friendship. That's not to say that Persona 5 isn't. But
they're friends, right?
They're friends.
Sure.
But obviously, if you look at the game, it's very much more of an edgy look to it. That stark black, that stark red on top of each other.
Like this guy.
And then there's this guy. We have some very, very interesting character designs that appear in this game.
Very interesting. So this is the closest I feel like I've ever gotten to playing anime. I love Persona. Like I watch anime and I play Persona, and sometimes I forget which is which. But this is the first time we're seeing a Persona game on PlayStation 4.
Yes, that's correct.
It looks fantastic.
It looks wonderful. It's gorgeous.
The UI specifically. Oh my goodness.
Oh dear Lord, the UI is just utterly stylish. You open one menu, you see so many different cutscenes. There's graphics everywhere. It's very beautiful.
There's graphics everywhere.
Oh yes.
So many graphics.
Yes.
So Persona 4 Golden was a huge hit on PlayStation Vita. This was the game that got me into Persona personally.
Oh, wonderful.
So I have high hopes for Persona 5. Can you tell me, is it going to feel familiar to me as someone who has only played Persona 4 in the past? Is it going to feel very different? How much of that is going to cross over?
I would say that because this is a Persona game and it is the continuation in number, of course, not in story, but because of that, a lot of the system does cross over. There is a lot of new features that have been added to the game that makes it very fresh, very accessible to a lot more new audiences as well. But for past audiences, they will definitely see the connections between the past games and Persona 5.
Cool. Let's talk about the music of Persona a little bit.
Yes.
Because I really, really love the music in Persona. Shoji Meguro, amazing composer.
Oh, definitely.
Returning for Persona 5?
Yes.
Yes, cool. So I guess the music's going to be awesome.
Oh, it is.
Can you hum one of the songs?
I cannot.
Okay.
Well, one, I'm kind of tone deaf. It's kind of hard to hum along when there's so much going on at E3.
I'm right there with you.
But the music is spectacular. Every track has its own melody. It's very strong, very memorable. I think the fans will be very happy to hear the new tracks.
Cool. So Persona is a game where, it's a series where we have seen a lot of different things happen, but there are also a lot of things that are kind of the same. The Velvet Room, social links, things like that. How much of that is going to be coming back? Is the team willing to play with those ideas, or are there certain things that kind of aren't off limit, or that are off limits and have to remain the same throughout every Persona?
I'm actually not sure in regards to that because unfortunately we're the localizers, we're not the actual developers, but if you watch the trailer, the Velvet Room does appear again.
Yeah.
And then most likely I can say that...
Blue.
Exactly. So something with the social links I would say is back in the game.
Okay.
But it's not really set in stone. There are some iconic things like you mentioned. The Velvet Room has been an iconic thing in the Persona series since Persona 1.
Yeah.
So I think they are trying to keep that. Oh, there we go. We have Igor. So we have some traditions that are carried through. Some of them don't make it back, but overall, it keeps the game feeling like a Persona game.
Cool. So you are a translator on Persona 5. What is that like? I imagine that's got to be kind of a weird job, kind of a challenging job.
It actually is because the game is set in Tokyo, it's Japan, and because a lot of the jokes that are referenced, the news that is referenced,
Yeah.
it's based in Japan. And when we're localizing the game, we have to keep in mind, how do we keep it true to the original Japanese game, but also make it accessible to the American audience? So there are jokes that definitely aren't going to translate over from Japanese to English, so we have to tweak it a bit, make sure that we're still getting the same idea across, but make it fun. So localization process for Persona game is definitely very, very challenging.
How does that tie into writing these characters who are seemingly innocent students by day, but Phantom Thieves, I believe they're called?
Yes, that is
by
correct.
night? The team of Phantom Thieves. How do your localization efforts tie into writing these characters?
Well, this is probably true about all localization efforts, but whenever we start working in a game like this, there's always the translators who play the game, try to get familiar with all the characters, and then we have to sit down with the rest of the team, the editors, and then we try to flush out the characters. Like, how are they going to talk? Do they have any mannerisms? And it's an off and on project, definitely.
Really interesting. Do you? Sorry,
no, it's okay.
I don't often speak to localization teams, so this is kind of an interesting experience. Do you get to like play through the whole game in its original form? You know, whatever build is available, and then you kind of then. That way you have a good idea of what the character's like. If there are any big twists along the way, you know how to write to those and all that, or.
I would want to say if we were in a perfect world, that would be the case, but with a game as big as Persona 5, a lot of times the game is still in development. So we will get the assets from Japan, and we will try to make use of that as much as possible, try to figure out all the characters, and then work from there. If we're lucky, we'll get a full enough build that we can actually play through and get a full grasp of it, but that doesn't necessarily happen all the time, unfortunately.
Okay, cool. So this game is coming out this year.
It's actually coming out next year. It's
2017.
2017.
Yes.
On February 14th.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. Perfect
Coming
gift.
out on Valentine's Day on PS3 and PS4.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. So I can't wait for Persona. I have one more question for you before I let you go.
Of course.
Teddy or Morgana?
Oh dear.
Who's cuter?
I have to be politically correct. I would say that they're both equally cute because they have different personalities. They have different roles. They have different kind of mannerisms. I love both.
Morgana on the screen there.
I know, Morgana is adorable too, but I love Teddy too. So I can't say which is better.
See, I was hoping you would answer because I can't answer this question because I haven't played Persona 5 and I don't know enough about it to make a judgment.
There is that.
But you do.
Yes.
You know enough.
But even then, I will say that they're equally high up on my list. They're equally adorable. They're wonderful, wonderful mascots.
Okay, great.
So yes.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. That's Persona 5. It's coming out on Valentine's Day 2017 on PlayStation 4 and PS3.
PlayStation